So document transformation connector. Let's start from here today. So document transformation, we've done some part of it in the EIB as well. When we do delivery of the EIB through an email address, and if you recall, we are able to do some transformation on the document with like the CSV format, the headers, the footers, the padding, and if you want to change the labels of each and every field during the transformation, uh, such things we can do it at a larger scale in the integrations. So document transformation is an integration system template that enables you to build an integration that contains a style sheet attachment that includes Workday specific processing instructions to transform and validate a document. The special instructions may include validation, integration messages, and format text. Right? Validation means we are talking about true, false, any specific messages we want to insert through the transformation, and then the overall formatting of the text. So the document transformation approach involves using both integration system as well as a Workday business processing or business processes. The document transformation template provides access to Workday specific ETV or XTT processing. And the ultimate objective of document transformation is to transform the output of an integration or the input for an integration. So benefits of using document transformation are as follows. So by leveraging the Workday specific processing instructions, functionality would require a complete XPath expression is now much simpler. So in comparison to tools such as Workday Studio, document transformation removes the need for maintaining document descriptions such as XML schemas and XML to CSV schemas. And then you reduce the number of places where document structure is maintained. So before setting up a document transformation integration system, you must create an integration system that will generate the file to be transformed, or have an external system that is generating an incoming file. So either your output from your integration could be used as a source for document transformation, and then apply the transformation, and then send it to the recipient or the relevant system, or you're receiving a file from someone for integration, and then you apply your document transformation before you put it into your Workday tenant. So you can determine what format is required by the recipient of the transformed file, so either inbound or outbound from Workday. So create an XSL that defines a transformation from incoming file format to the format required by the file recipient, leveraging options for the ETV and XTT formatting. How do we create a document transformation and integration? So we go to new template. So to create a document transformation integration system, access the create integration system task, and from the new using template prompt across select integration document, and then document transformation. Let me show you what it looks like in the tenant. We've talked so much about it. All right. So when we have an integration and we want to apply the document transformation, and let me open the integration, say for example, create time of entries. So this is about Skillsoft. So it's about courses that we are uh, applying to the customer, to our employees. So we have our Workday 3 OWS skillsoft.com. That's the address, the customer ID, the password, and then all the details for the integrations attribute that we need, the client ID, the token ID, scoping user, and so on. Say, for example, I need a transformation for this as well. So I can go to integration systems. First, I need to go to services. And from here, so I can go to integration system. Instructions are create insist from the template type. And select document transformation. Set T, T, S, T, 1, 2, 3, 4. From here, I can configure addition attributes. Say Skillsoft, and that's an input document. So I want to add the validation messages. So carry forward that document retention policy. 60 days. Now, as we discussed a little bit earlier, that what can we do with document transformation and how does that work? So I have created a simple XSLT template for you guys to see how an XSLT works, or the document transformation through a input format of a simulated system like this. So what this is the XML version for an XSLT, the report data name, the report entry. So this is all input part. That input that I'm getting from either an external system going into Workday, or I'm receiving it from the Workday tenant and then later on applying the transformation. So my data would be, say, in XML format. So employee ID, first name, last name, age, and then the second employee ID, and then the third employee ID. And sequentially, I'll continue to get this information from Workday for all my employee data files. Now, the transformation that I want to apply is I want to convert that into XML format, and I want to add line breaks with it. Okay. So first of all, in my XSLT, I have set up the parameters. Then I have set up two variables like new line and pipe. And the command or the text for new line in the XSLT is this. And the pipe delimiter that I want is this. Then I close the template match. And then I say the header records, whatever information I'm getting. So employee ID, and then the value of select is pipe, then the first name, then the pipe value, then the last name, then the pipe value, then at the age, and after age, give me a new line. Again, employee ID, then pipe, first name, pipe, last name, pipe, age, and after age, give me a new line. And this would close my style sheet or my XSLT. And my output would look something like this. So employee ID, pipe, first name, pipe, last name, pipe, age. And the format is going to look like 1, 2, 3, 4, Steve, pipe, Morgan, pipe 56, 1, 2, 3, 5, pipe, Logan McNeil, Logan, pipe, McNeil, pipe 40, 1, 2, 3, 5, pipe, Joy, pipe, Banks, pipe 42, and then end of records. So XSLT is a transformation or a control document, or the document transformation format with which you control the formatting or the output of the data. Either the data is coming from Workday or it's coming from outside world, coming into Workday, and you would like to have it in a specific format. That is where you use the XSLT or the document transformation. Now with the EIB Outbound, we had the GUI document transformation formatting, where we could change the pipe, the CSV delimiter, where we could add padding, where we could add headers, that every header column heading we could change. If you want to change the underlying text, if you want to add a header, footer, and then if you want to add document tags, you can do all of that through the configure transformation menu within the Outbound EIB. But for integrations, you have to write this code in the XSLT format, which will apply as a transformation controlled parameters for your input into the integration, and then apply the changes, and it'll give you the output in the required format or transformation. So in order to run these document transformations, one must have knowledge of JSON or XML scripting, and should be able to read and write such codes. If one wants to use the integration and using the transformation templates with XSLT. And for example, here we can see the output document tag. And let me see if I can do an attachment service somewhere. It's enabled security. So this will be a second set of integration after your primary integration. So for example, if it's an inbound, you create an integration system. And then in your business process, so this is an integration template that is attached to this integration. And here, see, integration types, implementation types, file name pattern. Convert package reference ID values, convert packages. The business process. So the first step is document retrieval. The second step. So this is a report that is received from this tenant. And then the third step is the document transformation, which is done by this XML. After this, then it says file integration. So it will do all the processing, like receive the file, uh, receive the documentation, and then do the transformation and then file integration. So with the business process, you can define if you need to do any document inbound integration for document retrieval and then apply the document transformation accordingly before the integration is fired for your inbound values within the system. Let me see if I can find another one. So transformation here is SAP doc transform pipe. here is the transformation document for this particular integration, which is SAP Mini Master. And these are all the attributes for that transformation control document. Here's all the column names. The worker separator here is called pipe. Email, title, Bergs, Olga, Ursa, Coastal, Hecom Base. And here you can see that there's a number formatting here as well. Person name versus name data is last name, personal name versus name data first name. That's the input report for the transformation. And this should be the source information as to proofs to match attached file. So receive the document, process the document, apply the document transformation, and then fire the integration service. So creating the document transformation integration system. So the XSL being used to perform the transformation must be attached to the integration system as an integration attachment service object. Once you add it, you can edit the attachment by using the edit integration service attachment. So if you want to add to an integration, so we can edit it. This is process. And say step. BB. We can call it, say, BC. Retrieval. Press OK. I made a mistake here, sorry. So BC should be file integration. CT. Say, for example, I am going to connect It's FTP. Now I've set up my configure document step for step DB. And if I go back to my integration system, then it says you can edit the attachment by using edit integration attachment service. And from here, you can change the document or update the document accordingly, open it in a new tab, download it, do your maintenance, and upload it again. Right? So changing outward connectors with document transformation. So what does document transformation do in a nutshell? So document transformation integration takes the output file generated by another integration system and transform that file based upon the instructions in an XSLT file. So the workflow when using document transformation with an outbound core connector is as follows. So you take the Workday connector, either inbound or outbound. So if it's inbound, it's coming from an external system. If it's outbound, your source is Workday itself. You take the output document of that, apply your XSLT transformation on top of that document, then have an output, transformed output from the transformation, and then you can send it to the SFTP, or if it's going to another integration as a step or another documentation, however you want to set it up your integration. So source file, which is usually an XML output, do the transformation using your XSLT as a template or a control document, and then have the transformed output and then share it with your end user. So the integration system is so changing outward connectors with document transformation. So when the integration system is launched, step 1 and 2 of the business process are executed. After the completion of second step, step 3 executes, which is called the second integration system. Finally, when step 3 returns that it has completed, step 4 kicks in to deliver the final transform output to the defined endpoint. Just like we saw here. Initiation, step 1, step 2, and then step 3. So initiation, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. So element transformation and validation, that is what ETV is called. Element transformation and validation, and XML to text, or XTT, enables you to add Workday specific processing instruction to an XSLT file element using attributes. So ETV and XT provides a number of different ways to transform and validate elements in an XML document. The ETV and XT processing instructions require that your XSLT produce a well-formed XML regardless of the final output document. So whichever format you're getting your document in, you can use the ETV and XT to have a well-formed XML output format. So with document transformation integration in with XSLT formatting, Workday provides the following attributes in the following categories. You can do arithmetic elements like arithmetic calculations. You can do CSV value formatting like we saw the pipe delimiter. The date and time formatting, you can format the date and time parameters as to, you want to see it in year dot month dot date, or you just want to see the month dot year, or so on. So whatever transformation you would require, you can do that. So element text addition and removal. So if you want to add extra text, like, so for example, with the preferred name, you would like to add underscore first name as a document header, you can do that with this text addition and removal element. You can do fixed length formatting for particular object or headers. You can have group attributes. You can set up integration systems. You can do number formatting. You can do truncation, and you can do validations as well. So two-stage transformation process. Document transformation consists of two separate transformation steps. Below is a graphical representation of the two-stage process. So original XML is something that you get as in your input. Then you have the XSLT processor or the XSLT transformation. Then it will have an intermediate XML. Then it can have an ETV transformed XML cloud or XCT transformation text output file. So below are some of the examples for field-specific requirements of the transformed file. Say your requirement is employee ID, the fixed length should be 10 digits, and it is a required. And report truncation, we say no. So required is a validation. Fixed length is the number character length, and the truncation. So first name, 10 digits, required is no, it's a warning. Last name, fixed length is 15, required no, and warning, and so on. So the output would look something like this. So employee ID, first name, middle name, last name, gender, marital status, email address, and then whatever the date is, and then an amount. So based on the transformation steps that you have mentioned here, like the hire date and the annual base pay are the last two. So it will format it in such a way. So XCT, XML to text. So the XCT step supports instructions that convert XML document to text. It converts document from XML to text format such as comma separated values, fixed width, or other text format. All attributes available with XCT are also available with ETV and vice versa. So the fixed length formatting attributes. The attributes allows fixed length format documents to be created. The fixed length of each element is specified using the fixed length attribute. Values shorter than a fixed length will be padded using the padding character attribute values, and values that are longer than the fixed length will be truncated. You can do align, indicates whether a value should be aligned to the left or the right when padding is added. Fixed length, the number of characters in this fixed length field. Padding character, the padding character to use if value is shorter than the fixed length. If a padding character is not added, the default character is space. So the padding character could be zeros, or could be A's, could be dots. Whatever padding that we may need in a fixed length field, we can set it up and we can align it as well. So the validation attributes, required and severity. So these are the two kind of attributes you can set up with a particular field. Workday provides a variety of attributes, apply validation rules to the contents of the element they are attached to indicate if the element is required and what severity of message to return to the integration when an element fails validation. So when you have a required validation, the element must contain at least one character. And the severity of the message, either if it's one is info, warning, error, or critical. So based on these severity levels, you can design your Workday transformation that whether it to either fail the integration if say employee ID is missing or the social security number is missing or the employee legal name or last name is missing or date of birth is missing, and you put a validation on this and then you set up a severity level for those validations. So info, warning, error, or critical. So error is something that you can populate. Okay, I tried to do this transformation from this from this data, and here's an error. But continue the integration. But when you set up as critical, then it will not let the integration continue until fail the integration. So 4 levels of severity that you can set up in your integration transformation, document transformation. So truncation attributes, Workday provided attributes for reporting the truncation of values when interacting with the fixed length or max length attributes. With these attributes, validation messages can be reported back to the integration even when a truncation occurs. Report truncation. The report truncation attributes allow how to truncate how the truncation of the value is reported, if at all. And valid values for this attributes again are none, attribute dot critical, warning, info. So truncation is when you have a fixed and character, say 10 digits are the fixed length value. So if you get 15 digits in your input, so it will truncate everything after the 10th digit. So 11 to 15 will be dropped. Again, when a truncation event happens, you can also set up the validation rules around it and the reporting values. So that is the end of document transformation. I would like to highlight this, that this chapter is primarily meant to give you a very high level idea as to how the integration system works, how the document transformation works. When you're looking at integration, what are you looking for and what areas you can go and explore the integration with. This is not going to make you an expert of integration with these 2 chapters. So the intention for these 2 chapters was primarily to give you a in-depth idea as to how an integration works, how do you launch an integration, how do you set up an integration, what is document transformation, what are the values in document transformation, how do you process it, how does it work. So you conceptually have an idea as to what integration systems are and how does the document transformation works alongside with integrations.